Guys, I'm talking about another indie roguelite. I know I talk about these games a lot, but honestly, I don't think I can help it. I love roguelikes, and this one is really something special, as it has some of the most addictive movement and gunplay that I'd be willing to say rivals with Doom Eternal, and I've beaten that game 12 times. This is Robo Quest. If you're unfamiliar with roguelites, I'll give you a brief description. You run through multiple levels filled with baddies, finding new weapons and equipment, steadily upgrading your character to all inevitably die and start all over again. It's an addictive game loop fueled off self-hatred and spite. But how does RoboQuest stand out from the rest? For starters, the movement. You are incredibly fast, and the level design complements this beautifully as you run through narrow hallways into wide open arenas filled with nooks and crannies for you to take cover from enemy fire. Grind rails make traversal even more fun as you grind above your enemies, raining hellfire to jump to the adjacent rail for a quick escape. Yes, hopping around like a mechanoid super ninja is enticing, but being too cocky will get you killed fast, so you need to take advantage of your other movement options. Yes, there's more. You can combat slide, perfect for dodging slower projectiles and throwing off enemy aim, as well as Goomba stomp your 1-ton self off of the heads of enemies, giving you an extra aerial boost. Now that you know how to move, then comes the next step of learning your playstyle, the base camp. The base camp plays a vital role in setting up your next run, as it can be upgraded the more you play, increasing the amount of starting perks, guns, and likelihood of finding better items amongst the carnage. As well as selecting your class. There are 4 to choose from. The Guardian, my personal favorite, is the Whole Cannon, a tanky boy who can still dish out big damage, who has invincibility for an ultimate that recharges fairly quickly. The Recon can go invisible, leaving enemies astray, and carries a Swiss Army knife made out of pure titanium, and focuses on going fast. The Engineer does the typical engineer thing, and summons drones to play the game for him as he sits in the corner while they take all the aggro, picking off enemies with a sniper rifle. Finally, there's the Commando, the fuck everything and blow it to high hell class. He carries multiple forms of explosives and a shotgun hand. It's a simple class for the ape-brained individual like myself. Now there's the combat. It's incredible. Enemy robots are everywhere, and they must be destroyed. Yes, there are different types, but not many, and the game forgives that by putting a fuck ton of them everywhere you go, so you're too busy trying to survive rather than noticing what types of robots you're fighting. But to put their differences briefly, some are big, some are tiny, some explode, and some are just turrets. None of them are hit scan, but some drop bombs all over the place, and others have lasers with godlike tracking. Also watch out for these little guys. They mean you no harm, but they always carry health cells, so if you can kill it before it scurries away, it just might save your run. Every form of projectile is colored a different shade of red and can always be seen for a reactionary dodge, but your methods of fighting back are also quite effective. Guns. There are a lot of guns, each consisting of their own unique features. There are 4 types. Assault. Your basic run-of-the-mill shotgun or assault rifle. You can't go wrong, and they sound amazing. Precision. Rewards accuracy. Enemy robots have big red eyeballs that if you shoot them, they die faster. And if you hit that with a precision weapon, they will be stunned for a good amount of time so you can finish the job with no backlash. Demolition. Deals with explosives or just weird structured tools of destruction. For example, these 3 shotguns being held together by nothing but duct tape and bungee cords. Demolition weapons are the Hail Mary class, just point them in the general direction and hope it hits something. And finally, technology, the sci-fi laser cannons and ice rays of the bunch. They are very deadly and can take the form of any type of weapon. Rather than being reloaded, they have a cooldown meter, so try not to make them overheat. They also deal elemental damage, in the form of electricity and ice. Electric stuns the enemy, and ice slows them down while making them more susceptible to other forms of damage, making weapon combos extremely effective. You will run into weapons frequently throughout your rampage, and do not feel afraid to experiment, as you just might find something you really like or benefits your build. Speaking of which, along with the weapons, there are items. Items improve your base stats while also improving the weapons you carry. You can tell what kind of weapons they benefit based off the colors they emit. You can carry 3 at a time, and they can be swapped to match the weapons you carry, encouraging experimentation even if you're in the middle of a run. And if you're like me, you will cycle through new weapons frequently. So if you know where to look, you will find these items very often. The world holds many secret areas that either consist of enemy battle rooms, platforming challenges, or just as simple as walking off the beaten path. You will always be rewarded with new guns and items, and occasionally a collectible or a free upgrade, so exploration is very worthwhile. The world is like playing through a comic book, with nice cel-shaded graphics. Onomatopoeias flash from your guns, but are located to the side of your weapon away from the action to not be so distracting. The locations you explore each have their own unique atmosphere and music, and the enemies change their look slightly to match the aesthetic. It's a very subtle but welcome touch. Finally, there are the bosses. They are the gatekeepers to the next level and are very innovative and expressive. Some have interactive mechanics, such as being able to turn off their primary weapon if you successfully stun them. Others engulf the environment in flames or just straight up make you not able to see as they fire every projectile known to man in your direction. They are my favorite part of the game, and they fit the description of easy to learn but difficult to master perfectly. My final thoughts? Robo Quest is a delightful indie game that I wish more people knew about. The gunplay is clean and satisfying, the movement is the highlight of it all as you juke out enemy robots stomping on their heads to reach a nearby grind rail, and the variety of weapons and items to mix and match is fun to experiment with to match your playstyle, and the comic style just ties it all together perfectly. As polished as the game is, it's still considered to be in early access, so there's only more content to come. So I hope you join me on the roller coaster that is Robo Quest, because what we have now is insane, and the ride is not slowing down. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next review or episode of Archives. Take it easy. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. I know this one isn't as long as my usual reviews, but still, thank you for watching all the way through. That means a lot. Yeah, things have been going pretty good, and as you can tell, I'm going off script. This is the end card section where I just kind of talk to you guys and, tell you what's up. So the episode on Archives is being delayed yet again, not because I haven't been putting it off, but it got completely overhauled. We are covering a new game with new ambitions and just whole new style altogether. It's something that it's a type of video that I haven't made before, and I'm really excited to show the final product to you guys when it's complete. The good news is the script is done, the footage is captured, we just need to film a couple scenes in front of the green screen, modify the script a little bit for the type of dialogue we're trying to get for it, and of course the voice work. So yeah, it's coming along rather well, and it should be out within, I'm not going to say a time limit because God knows what is going to be done already, but I know it's going to be great. So other than that, yeah, I was really happy with this. I feel like the style of this review was more fast-paced and to the point, kind of like my first couple ones were, but still had the same amount of quality in its script. I don't know, tell me what you think down in the comments if you so please. But yeah, thank you for your patience and for sticking with me thus far. Also, thank you for the overwhelming positive response that I got with the Have a Nice Death review. That was really nice to see, and it showed how my hard work was paying off in terms of response, so thank you. Updates for that game are actually still being announced, so if you haven't already, watch my review and then go ahead and check out their Twitter page to see what new things they're about to be adding. I'll probably do an update video for that one when more patches get released or when it just gets fully released, who knows. I don't want to just be making a ton of videos covering slight updates that happen, but it's all good things. So yeah, that's about what's going on channel-wise and stuff. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!